Well, fine folks at Super Clean are kind of one of my sponsors. Anyway, I did a video for them a year or so ago, and I'm gonna have a giveaway here. No, you can't have the car. And what'll happen in the contest, just leave me a comment, and the one will be picked from random, and they'll send you a box of Super Clean, probably 2 or 3 products. But basically, I got this old aluminum transmission here. It's been blown off. You can see there I tried to wire wheel it there, and it's going to take a while. So I'm just gonna spray this transmission down with this stuff, and I've got a lot of rust and dirt, corrosion here. Just spraying it down liberally. Well, it looks like it's melting some of that stuff off. This only been on here just while the compressor was running, and I'm getting a lot of white foam looking stuff coming off of it. I don't know if that's cleaning it or what. Supposed to spray it on, hose it off. I'll probably just take a brush and water brush it. But it looks like it's doing something. I know by experience, I've used this on wheels and stuff before, on the first batch they sent me, and it really takes grease off good. I can also tell you that I've got a lot of transmission fluid there on the floor. Maybe it'll clean that up. But it definitely looks like it's doing something to it. I'll let it set a few minutes and take a brush and some water to it and see what happens. Well, it actually took quite a bit off. I just brushed it with water, and particularly right here where I wheeled it. Could tell when it was running off, it was kind of dirty looking. So I'm going to spray this again now that I've cleaned it up and got some water on it. Well, it looks pretty good. Took all the dirt, loose stuff off of it. Yeah, actually took some pretty heavy corrosion. For no more than just a soft brush, it cleaned it up real good. So I've got this flame-proof header paint. I doubt if the transmission will ever get hot. I don't know if you have to cook this or what, but it's a good paint, and kind of a similar color. We'll spray this and see what it works. Now that it's clean and degreased, this paint will probably stick pretty good. Well, there we go. Rebuild in a can. Looks good. At least it's one color. And it looks a lot better than this, which is what it looked like before. So, good enough. I got about a third of that can left, or a quarter. I'll save the rest of it for when I turn it over and kind of do the bottom. I turned it over before and lost a bunch of my fluid out. Half a quart and $9 a quart. Of course, I went and got it at across the street. They're pretty expensive. Anyway, this transmission don't look bad at all. It's gonna look nice. Right behind that nice motor. I still have to do something about that torque converter. I think I'll try to clean it up. Well, there's that super clean. I was fooling around with my air compressor here and I thought the lid was gone. It turned out just a cover. I tried to pour oil in it. I got it all down the side of the thing. Anyway, I got it full and I kind of wiped it off. And so I'm just going to spray this down here. I don't know what kind of a test this would be, but I'm just spraying it real good. And I've got some, I wiped it here where the tank was before. And I'm gonna just let this set here a minute. And hopefully it'll clean up some of this oil. I've got a lot of dust on here. I probably, well, so since this is a product demonstration, let's just whack it all. Hopefully it'll clean off some of this. None I'm trying to make my air compressor come pretty or anything like that. I'm just seeing if this is take this oil off. I mean, it's oil where I just poured it all down the side. So, and it picks up Bondo dust and everything else. So I'm going to fire it up and then I'll blow it off with air and we'll see what it looks like. Well, I hit it with air and it didn't seem to be really doing too great of a job. Not just running off, but of course, like I said, it's got Bondo dust and everything else on it. So I've got some water and a brush here. I'm going to brush it down with water first and then try to blow it off there. Well, that was the ticket. Cleaned it up super good. I just hit it with some water, blew it off, and then wiped it with an old dirty rag. And it took all that oil and grease right off there. So, I don't know if this is a recommended use, but definitely was oily, so it worked good. Got it all off. Now with no oil on it, maybe the dust won't stick to it so bad. Well, here's another test of the Super Clean. They're sponsors, and I'm going to be running a giveaway for a box of their products. I'll put this all in one video, but what I'm trying to do here, I've welded on a few brackets here on the frame. This has been rust converted, and I've also got a really was greasy rear end. It's got a lot of dirt and stuff on it. I've scraped a lot of it off, but I'm gonna put this Super Clean on here, and hopefully it'll dissolve some of this heavy rust. I need to paint this, and I'm not really hoping for any super good results. Just get some of this grease and dust and stuff off of here, but I do need to paint this frame, so I'm just spraying the frame down real good. Because once I weld these pieces in here, that'll rust really quickly. So sorry for my light falling down, but it did. So once I've got these brackets cleaned up and welded down, like that one, the fuel line will go up into it, and I'm going to coat it with rubber. But it's going to be really hard to try to paint this stuff with the lines on the frame. So even though it's going to be wet, I won't have time to let it dry. I'm just gonna clean it up and paint it, and then while this back part here's kind of drying, I'll go ahead and finish up the front up there. I need 1 or 2 more brackets there. I'll give this a little time to dry, and then I'll put my rubber in it. And I've got these set, so you know they're like 1 inch long. I just put the line on it, put a piece of rubber around here, and then just take a hammer and tap it. It'll bend over fine, and that should hold it. Well, anyway, we'll get some brush and some water in here and wash this down a little bit and get it painted. Well, there it is, all kind of painted up. This was not the ideal way or time to do it, but I got all these brackets. Get some more light on it. You can see it looks pretty good in there. Looks shiny. Of course, it'll flatten out. Haven't got the rear end. I'll show you that in a minute. But pretty much got all the big dirt out of it, and the frame looks good. Let me get out of here. Well, there it's dried. Looks like that super clean took off. A lot of heavy grease, you can see there's still quite a bit on it. I'm just too lazy to get in there and wire brush it, but did a real good job actually. You can see the paint sticking to it, so I'm going to go ahead and paint this area up, and we'll bring you back when that's done. Well, that turned out pretty good. It paint sticking to it real good. I'm not at all trying to get this perfect. You can see the dust on it over there. I'm just trying to get this pumpkin painted up. It looks fine, and I tried to touch up what I could see in here. My paint's getting empty, but I need to go back over this again. I gotta get another can of paint. I gotta paint all this stuff in here blue. You can see where it quits over there. I got the back half done, but I need to paint this interior, but that wasn't the purpose of this. This was just to get these lines mounted, and it looks like it's pretty dry. I didn't get a lot of over brush marks or anything, so I'll just proceed on putting these lines in. Well, speaking of silver linings, it's a super cream degreaser I was trying to make some videos of. This definitely is a good place to try it. We've got it all over the firewall of the motor, transmission, frame, floor. So we'll just spray it down with the sticky foam stuff. It really messes up paint. I hate doing paint work and mechanic work. They just don't mix. But in this case, it's working good. Looks like it's running it right off. I'll let it set a while. Get some water and wash it off. I'll try to mop up the rest of that fluid there on the floor.